Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. It is Sunday morning and we are setting ourselves up for a quiet meditation on a Sunday morning. Our teacher for this week has been Jack Canfield, and so today is the last little bit of wisdom from Jack Canfield. And if we could give this a title, the title would be, What is Holding You Back? Jack Canfield says, you don't just have the potential to create, you are always creating. Every single one of us. We are always creating. We were created to create, and therefore we create by default. But we're certainly not always creating at our highest potential. What is it that prevents us from creating at our highest potential? What prevents us from just always being the expression of our soul? Good morning, Mari. It's so good to see you. Happy Sunday. Leanne, good morning. Good to see you again. Happy Sunday to you. And Sunday, a very good morning to you. Happy Sunday. What gets in the way is all of the stories told by our inner narratives. That is what gets in the way. The ways in which we are the victim. All the ways in which the world is unfair, that our inner narrative obsesses over. This is the narrative of our wounds, and if we don't put these stories down, then we will forever be creating from that wounded place. You have to get beyond these old thought patterns if you want to create from the expression of your soul. Michelle, good morning. Happy Sunday. Awesome seeing you here. So a few more thoughts by Jack Canfield before we get started. He says, you and you alone are responsible for taking actions to create the life of your dreams. Nobody else can or will do it for you. Hey, Anthony, good to see you, man. It is only by acknowledging that you have created everything up until now that you can take charge of creating the future you want. If you want to be really successful, and I know you do, then you will have to give up blaming and complaining and take total responsibility for your life. That means all your results, both your successes and your failures. That is the prerequisite for creating a life of success. Hey Charlene, happy Sunday. Awesome seeing you. Good morning, Nella. Good to see you too. It is time to stop looking outside yourself for the answers to why you haven't created the life and results you want. For it is you who creates the quality of life you lead and the results you produce. You, no one else. To achieve major success in life, to achieve those things that are most important to you, you must assume 100% responsibility for your life. Nothing else will do. The voice of your soul speaks within you too. It is softer, it is gentler. It won't force itself on you because it has no desperation, but know this, your soul is totally grounded in truth. The voice of your soul holds you accountable because that is the only power you have. The choices you make, the actions you take. Our meditation today is a silent journey. Spending time in silence, which is filled with our own busy thoughts, helps you recognize the wounded voices, but listen also for the gentle voice of your soul. Your soul speaks with wisdom that doesn't get caught up in stories, but focuses on what is in your power to do. You are always creating. Your choices are whether you allow your wounded parts to do the creating, or your soul. If you're ready, we'll slip away into today's quiet meditation and just make the intention of being able to listen. Listen to what's in there. Recognize the wounded voices Acknowledge them. Don't become involved in a war with them, but also listen for the gentleness and honesty of your soul. Estelle, good morning. You're just in time. You can close your eyes and let's float away together, starting with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue with the same breathing pattern in your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. Every time you breathe out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and even drop your head. Right now, there's nothing else for you to do but breathe. And let every exhale lead you to a place that is softer than the one before. There's no need to try and empty your mind and try and force your brain to stop thinking thoughts, but to pay attention to these thoughts, to take a step back and just watch them do their thing. You will notice, as we've already said, these wounded voices. You can be gentle with them, but take a step back. Don't get too involved, just watch. Because the better we get at not jumping on the backs of these wild horses, but just observing, the more we get to understand that there is a softer, deeper voice that we can listen to as well. It's always kind. It's always gentle. It doesn't criticize and judge you. but it does stick to the truth, and it does hold you accountable. And we can get better at listening to that voice too. You can continue with your own full body breathing, and I'll check in with you at the end of this phase. You can use the last few breaths of this phase to help your body stretch, adjust, and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. having softened our bodies into a state of presence as much as we are able to, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. We'll do the first few breaths together. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. Take a deep breath in. And hold. As you release, feel how softness settles in every part of your body. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting, feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, I want you to remind yourself that your brain is allowed to think whatever thoughts it produces. That as much as you can't switch off your sweat glands, and they'll produce perspiration just the way any other organ does what it does, your brain will produce thinking. But you can get better at taking a step back from the thinking and be the observer. It's like slipping below the surface of the swimming pool's water. You're aware of all the action happening on the outside, people around the pool, talking and running. But it's also clear you've slipped into a space that's quieter. See if you can find that space today. You don't have to hold your breath with each breath. Take as many easy breaths as you need in between. And return to your breath hold when you're ready. Take your next big breath. have the last few big breaths of this phase to do together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, invite softness to settle into every fiber of your being. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. I'll read to you one more time from the words of Jack Canfield. You don't just have the potential to create, you are always creating. You and you alone are responsible for taking actions to create the life of your dreams. No one else can or will do it for you. It is only by acknowledging that you have created everything up until now that you can take charge of creating the future you want. If you want to be really successful, and I know that you do, then you have to give up blaming and complaining and take total responsibility for your life. That means all your results, both your successes and your failures. That is the prerequisite for creating a life of success. It is time to stop looking outside yourself for the answers to why you haven't created the life and results you want. For it is you who creates the quality of life you lead and the results you produce, no one else. To achieve success in life, to achieve those things that are most important to you, you must assume 100% responsibility for your life. Nothing less will do. You don't just have the potential to create. You are always creating. The choice is, will you continue to allow the wounded parts, the scared voices inside of you to do the creating? Or will you step into your soul and create as the expression of your soul? There's a few more minutes of silence left, and I'll check in with you at the end of this phase. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for this space of silence. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the deep connection to my being in this space of silence. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for becoming better at recognizing and listening to the scared voices so that they can be known to me. When I become so familiar to them, it becomes a lot easier to not let them call the shots. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for listening to the quieter voice, the softer voice in and amongst all the loudness, and recognizing the steadiness there. The continuous presence of something solid, always kind, always gentle, always honest. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for sharing your silent space with us. Thank you for doing your work to find that there really is deep wisdom in you, and that you're able to become better at being connected to that. Thank you, Estelle. I agree, what an amazing experience. Thank you, Sunmarie. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Mari. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Nella. And whoever else might be here. Have a great Sunday. See you soon. Ciao, ciao.